Hi there guys, welcome everyone, welcome to the channel. Let me just start off by saying none of this is financial advice, so just remember all of this is for entertainment purposes, and don't invest any money based on the information that I say. Do your own research, guys. Um, my laptop's just died there, so I had some notes on it, but I've run this through a couple times, so I'm just gonna give it a go. So here we are. I'm gonna start from quite an odd standpoint today. Instead, it's a cryptocurrency focused channel, but actually we're gonna start off with WSB. If you haven't heard of them, it's Wall Street Bets. They are a group on Reddit that has nearly 6 million users now. I think actually a bit more than that. I think maybe I saw it at 7 million, 8 million earlier on, perhaps. But I'm referencing an article that's a little bit earlier that says 6. If you don't know, yeah, as I said, I've explained who they are now. So I'm sure most of you know what's gone on here. But we're going to go through it for those who don't. The reason why we're mentioning SWB is because it will spill on later on into the crypto community, as I'm sure you've been following. So look, this is just I guess you can see it as reviewing the week and just kind of getting through it and kind of understanding where we're at. And I guess I'm going to be explaining my take on it as well. So here we are. We're looking at GameStop here, and this is it back in 2003. I mean, it's quite funny actually. I've never. This is quite a funny chart for me because it's almost like a reliving history, because you can see the spikes on these markets here. They're for release dates of big video games. This whole period here was the Xbox 360, PS3 era. And around about here, this is when I believe Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was released, around this region anyway. I think it was November 2007, I saw earlier on, but it's definitely around this region, and I believe it's the reason for the spike, because it's one of the most sold games, I believe, of all time. But again, after that, the market declined. So, you can see where the surges are coming from, and GTA 5, September. That was September the 17th, I saw earlier on. And again, that's what caused the bull run for this major retailer in, I believe it's the United States. It probably is. I'm only saying that because I didn't check. But I'm about 99% sure it's in the United States. Now, we're on a decline here ever since 2013, and it's kind of actually you can see this is the end of the Xbox 360 phase, and the new gens here, they're all about purchasing these games without discs now, like downloading the software. So discography as a whole, I mean, when's the last time for me, I'm myself, when I'm in the car, my phone's Bluetooth, I don't insert discs, I don't watch DVDs, I watch Netflix, and I don't insert physical games. So discography as a whole, I mean, it's easy money to short if you're a big investor, if you're on Wall Street. And that's exactly what these major retailers have been doing this whole time. Not this whole time, but particularly in a pandemic where no one can even go out to the stores and buy a physical game, even if they wanted to. So we're just going to go over to the article here before we move along, and we're just going to quickly go over. If you give me a minute here. For those who don't know. So, I mean, this is where I'm going to start off here. It's quite funny, actually. A bunch of Reddit geeks. I wouldn't call them geeks. I think they are, which seems like a strong term, but it's actually quite fitting. They're degenerates, risk takers, gamblers. I mean, off their mind. But look, they've done something here, and it's something you need to digest, and I bet that tons of them have made money out of it. But on the online forum, Wall Street Bets, an investment discussion group that boasts more than 6 million users, I know it's more than that now, but decided to buy GameStop shares in mass. Perhaps they saw it as an investment. Perhaps they were bored. Perhaps they wanted to inflict pain on Wall Street. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. But this is what happened. This is what happened. Bang. And that's what you call off the charts, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Completely unprecedented thing that's happened here. And we're going to go through the article just to, give you more of a snippet of what happened here. And it's liquidated a lot of short positions for those people that are on Wall Street and those big hedge funds and those big investors, which it says here actually it was from about $40 to almost $400 in a matter of days as a result of big investors lost big. One hedge fund, Melvin Capital Management, even being forced to seek a rescue package. Now, that is just absurd. But, as it says, look, the story, however, is not just about traders getting their comeuppance, but also about the absurdity of the stock market. I completely agree with that statement. It is absurd. And, my take on the WSB thing is it might change how it might change a few things, how stocks are, it might change things slightly, but it's not a thing that I'm interested in or I'm gonna put money towards, because it's just such a massive risk. And they done the situation some justice, because they've took money off the big guys, and it's a kind of a victory, I guess. The underdog takes on the big man, and the retail investors come together, and they smashed it. And fair play to them lads that made money. But it kind of, for me, it loses a bit of traction when it comes to cryptocurrency, and my admiration for it kind of dies out a little bit. But we're gonna get to that point. So don't worry. I'm sure you're not. But as I said, look at this. This is quite a funny thing here to read. Is that being outgamed by a bunch of nerds, the titans of Wall Street did what all entitled people do. They whined. How dare people manipulate the market? Only those of Manhattan penthouses who attend dinner parties with presidents and Federal Reserve governors should be able to do that. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they had an American accent, not a posh English accent. But, it's all funny. We all can have a laugh and a joke at that little thing going on there. But when you actually read a little bit further into the article, it gets a bit, and you can see the pain here. It's having the right connections mean you whine, others listen. And regulators in Washington are now keeping an eye on possible market manipulation by social media groups. I mean, yeah, look, it needs to be done, because I understand the point. If you're going to regulate everyone, you have to regulate everyone. But you're not regulating everyone, though, are you? You're just you're keeping an eye on the people that are winning for a change. It's all well and good when they're lining their own pockets, but when the retail investors want to get involved and have fun, it's not as fun anymore, is it, for everyone? So, look, the digital investment app Robinhood, which has helped open the stock market to a wider public, last week restricted trades in GameStop, allowing investors to sell but not buy. As the article continues on, a sure way of pushing the share price down. Just take a minute there. I mean, last week, restricted trades in GameStop allow investors to sell but not buy, a sure way of pushing the price down. I mean, how are you going to have no buy button available, and have a sell button available, and then talk about stock market manipulation in the same bloody paragraph. It makes no sense at all whatsoever. If they're keeping an eye on, if the regulators are keeping an eye on the market manipulation, how are Robinhood able to get away with this? And look, it goes on to say here that the company insists this was for technical reasons rather than a desire to protect hedge funds. And I call BS on that. But at the same time, I've read some other articles here, and I'll link them in below. I'm not going to go through them as well. But there's an argument here that what happened may have needed to be done. But from how I see it, it's not really good enough, is it? It isn't really good enough. There is a brief little bit here on Discord, which I am going to come back to actually. But I'm just going to move it on. I'm going to move it on and focus on Doge. Now, this is SW Chairman. He has got 900k followers, nearly up to 1 million. And he, as he states there, is not even a part of WSB. He's changed it now. I mean, he's at was WSB, as you can see. But this as well was a W before, and I think he's trying to spin off his own little thing here. But look, he's followed by the guy from Binance, CZ, and some other guys. A lot of them follow him. But he's not even from WSB. But this is the funny thing. Look at this. This is 5:15 a.m. From my time anyway. And bang. Let's go on a Doge. Not this one. Yeah, this one. Full featured chart. Alright. Not the monthly. Let's go to 4 hourly. 28th of Jan. 28th of Jan. This is 5:15. This is 4. That's 8. So in between this period here somewhere, your boy WSB chairman, he put some money in. He's not even associated with it, and this thing circulated around. I bet no shadow of a doubt, and it wasn't probably encouraged by the WSB community, but it spilled onto the cryptocurrency market, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're talking about Doge now, and that's how it's all relevant. This is a completely different thing, and it's not the same. It's not the same as it's not the same as what happened with the GameStop. It's nowhere near the same. In fact, there's some people out there thinking that this is impressive, and perhaps it is for those who obviously it is for those who do, but I don't think it's impressive at all. I mean, the GameStop, there's a small victory and there's a story there. The retail investors take on the big man and they end up with the money and rah rah rah. The little man wins for a change, and that's great. And I'm all for that. But this Dogecoin pump, this is just off the charts, bandwagon pump and dump BS. Because look, I mean, Dogecoin, for those who don't know, and I hope you do know. But if you didn't, we all know has no use case. It has absolutely no use case. I'm pretty sure it's a meme of a dog. So the only thing that Dogecoin is useful for is, and even then it's debatable, is it shows how desperate the market is to make gains. That is the only possible benefit to Dogecoin, is that when you see Doge pumping, like Doge is pumping, you know that people are missing out and they're trying to make some of them gains in return, because there's FOMO in the market. There's FOMO in the market, and this is what it is, and that's not even a good use case for a coin. Look, fair play to those that made money from it, and I feel sorry for those that got left with a bag. You never know, there might be a little return here. I don't personally see it, but you can't write this stuff. You can't write what's happened this week in the market world. You really can't. So look, it's not the same thing because, and this is where I wanted to mention it, it's quite irritating because Doge is one of those things where, like, what's happening with Doge now, it's like you're not taking on the Wall Street, you're not taking on the man, you're taking advantage. You most likely are probably taking advantage of people who are uneducated about the space, who are chasing candles. And see, this is retail investors versus retail investors. As before, it was with GameStop, it was retail investors unite and look what we can achieve. This doesn't really, and who cares at the end of the day, even then, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all a game, you know. I'm going to unload my bags that I have one day on someone and I'm going to make profit. But, you know, I think the if you're thinking you're following the WSB thing, my advice, which is no advice, my personal plan that I'm doing, I have no advice to give. I only have what I am saying, which is I am not going to follow any of this stuff because, you know, if you get burnt once, just once, it can hurt, you know. And no, I'm not saying that, you know, there's not opportunities there, but this isn't the same thing. And just be careful out there in the markets, guys. That's what I say. Keep your head on your shoulders and try to stay away from FOMO. But yeah, it goes to show you the power of what's happened here with the whole thing. I want to take a little pause here to regather my thoughts. But it's kind of starting again here with XRP. And this is just another example of it. The pump has started again with XRP. You don't really want to. My Telegram was going off around this region here, saying, look, that's that picture there, whatever that picture was there, that's going around. It's the same WSB theory of just pumping for the sake of pumping and holding and trying to make some gains. And, you know, look at this. It's, you know, it's gone up in price ridiculously, and XRP is another, what you call it, coin. It's not good enough, and it's just absolutely absurd, crazy week in the market. And that is all transpired from WSB. Look at these guys. Look. Let me be clear. I'm not here for a one-day pump. I'm here to beat the institutions. And not have them further manipulate the price of XRP down until they're ready. I'm here for a multi-year pump. I'm not selling one XRP for less than 100. I've always said that. Now, I'm going to refrain from using language because it's not what it's about. I mean, there's people out here, right? This WSB thing is kind of putting a really, really bad mark on cryptocurrency right now. That's what I think, and that's how I feel about it. There is a lot of people out there that are probably going to get used to the space or trying to get involved in the space, and they're going to be listening. They're going to be listening to people like him, and they're going to be listening to people like MSB chairman, who is also a fraud, who has nothing to do with the thing, and they're going to be surging prices of nonsense coins while other people were going to be making bags. And I just think this is turned from a potentially positive thing to a completely negative thing. Nearly. And maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but it's just a case of, you know, people that are coming into the cryptocurrency space should not be putting their money in Dogecoin or XRP coin. What we should have learned from WSB is that when retail investors unite, they can achieve a lot of things. Now, this is not achieving anything, really. It's lining a few people's pockets. The real thing here that's being missed is that Bitcoin is what solves these problems. Bitcoin is what solves the monetary problems that we have at the minute. Not ultimately forever. I mean, it's a hedge against the absurdity of the ever printing money. And I think a lot of people are missing it. And it just, for me, it's a bit and it annoys me as well because I go on to I have a few Facebook communities on, I have a few Telegrams, and I have a few all of these things that I go on and I wake up to every day. That's part of my routine, and I'm completely bombarded with this shilling of pumping absolute nonsense coins. And instead of taking the limelight and using something positive to show, like, okay, look what we can do if we put our minds to something and stick to something, buy and hold it, the perfect use case, Bitcoin. I mean, maybe this is all a phase. Maybe this all falls down to the fact that they're gonna fall into Bitcoin eventually. But then that's where I'm gonna draw the line on that conversation, because I'm gonna end up on a rant and I'm gonna lose my train of thought if I haven't already. But I'm gonna move on to Elon Musk, I was on Michael Saylor here actually earlier on, but because I'm probably gonna mention him as well, based on how I'm feeling. Look at him there, right? There's Elon Musk. What's this? Drop in audio. Sorry, this is just something that's been launched. I don't know what it is. But anyway, doesn't make a difference. Hashtag Bitcoin. I'm sure you all saw it. There was a lead up to that though. There was a major lead up to that, and it was this here. Yeah, Elon Musk even was even shared that Reddit forum, Wall Street Bets. Ridiculous. And he said even Discord has gone corpo. Now, the article's there. I want to go on it anyway. Discord, an online platform, banned Wall Street Bets from its servers for spreading hate speech, glorifying violence, and spreading misinformation. By all accounts, group members indulged in racism and homophobia. Its founder, who was expelled earlier this year, claims that some moderators were straight up white supremacists. Jesus Christ, Mahoney. It's quite a coincidence, that's what it says here. Wow. I mean, like, not completely relevant to what I'm discussing, but it's relevant to why it was banned on Discord. It's quite a coincidence, is what the author claims here, and it's quite a coincidence that the group should be taken down for hate speech on the day that big investors lose so much money. Look, that's a line I'm not willing to discuss on what it falls on. But forget what the allegations are, because at the end of the day, it is seemingly just an allegation. I could be wrong. We can find out. There might be a link here explaining all of that. If it's just for hate speech, that's unproven. On a day that big investors lose so much money, whew, it's crazy. Because obviously it's a bit silly. Like, if you think about it, this thing, Wall Street Bets, never had any attention that much before in the media, and all of a sudden it's on the media. People will scour through their who is involved, who's behind it, who is and if it comes under the surface that lies there, then I mean, that's the measures that will be taken, and I don't think many people can argue that. I mean, I wouldn't. So the point being that if it's true, then you can't stand for it. But if it's just an allegation, and the day that the investors lost so much money, then it's a little bit strange. But yeah, I haven't done enough looking into it to answer that. But we have Elon Musk's response to it, and it goes, even Discord has gone corpo. So look, that's his view on it, and I understand where his view is. He's basically saying that centralized social media platforms are censoring the retail investors from making the money, and put a like there. 501.k likes, ridiculous numbers and influence this man has. And that's when we move on, and this is the chain effect of all of it. Everything we've been discussing about WSP, the pumping of Doge, the pumping of XRP, and we are moving forward. with this is what happened. Now, I'm sure you guys know, but it's hashtag Bitcoin and the Bitcoin emoji that's provided by Twitter. And then he did this post, not very, he's done this post, I believe around the same period of time. It was on the January the 29th it happened, and it was the only thing that it was the two changes. I don't know if that was exactly within the same millisecond, but it was definitely hashtag Bitcoin. Oh, what's the latest tweet? Oh, that? Strange. Now, this for me might take a little while for me to put this in the correct terms and words, but I'll just tell you from my end of it what happened the day I woke up. Let me just put my phone on airplane mode. Right. So I woke up and I'm ahead of the American markets, obviously, because I live in the UK. So, the American markets open at 2:30 here. So I woke up about 8, 9 o'clock with my phone just going off. People messaging, saying they're long in Bitcoin, they're long in Bitcoin, they're long in Bitcoin. And I don't make trade. I don't care. Look, I don't care. I don't care who posts what about this and about that. That's not how I trade. I don't care if he's the second richest man in the world. I don't care if Tesla stock goes up. I don't care if he was a part of PayPal. I'm not going to long something because someone changed their bio, because most of the time something like this happens, the market capitulates, or there's a short a short dump in the immediate short term, and that's weird. But this one nearly got me though. I woke up like, ooh, maybe I'm gonna long this one. And I said, look, man, the profits are gonna be there to be made. But I mean, I didn't have my targets. I wasn't prepared. I don't just do things on a whim, so I just left it. And it was a strange one because the market actually pumped. And you know what? I think there's an article here, and I'll be very lucky to find it if I think I Google it now. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk liquidated a few shorts, all in the week. Look, here we are. Brilliant. Look at this. Elon Musk, 6,000 Bitcoin pump, just liquidated 420 million of dollars worth of shorts. Come on, can you believe the week we've had with everything that's gone on with WSB, that's gone on with Doge, was currently bringing into flipping February, XRP apparently pumped tomorrow, and Elon Musk went ahead and said, this is what it is, and this is what I'm doing, and more people's shorts got liquidated. I mean, what a crazy week. And not even to include, there's some more things here that maybe I might squeeze in on at the end if I have time. I'm not finished with Elon here though. So I'm not really impressed with Elon, really. I mean, not impressed. I don't care. Look, the market went up and it went straight back down again. So look, what is his agenda? What does he stand for? What's his standpoint on this? Surely, if Elon Musk had this epiphany moment, you'd hope that he'd do more than just hashtag Bitcoin. In retrospect, it was inevitable. That's what I would think. And it's just a little bit of what everyone's calling a coin tease. And it is a coin tease because it's just a little pump and then it dumps again. There's no real indication. It's all just a bit of a fad. It's just a bit of a what is really he doing here? Because is he selling Bitcoin? Is he genuinely just did he just buy a bulk? No, I think that was the retail that was pushing the price because he bumped it up, because I saw so many. I mean, how do I know? But anyway, it just leaves me wondering, and I'm gonna come back to. I like this statement because I kind of feel like I get it, and it's the point is forget the retrospect part. It's Bitcoin is inevitable, is how I'm reading that. And that's pretty much where I'm at with Bitcoin. And it doesn't really matter if Elon Musk pushes for mass adoption or not, because the truth is it's inevitable. And in 5 or 10 years time, I'm going to say, in retrospect, all of these Doges and Mojis and Roges are just worth nothing. And the point is that we're going to get to a point where it was inevitable, and all this selling it for this price, buying it for that price, this, that, the other, don't make no difference, because it is inevitable. And that's how I'm reading that, and that's for me is a statement. And I think he's talking in code here, really, because it's not. I mean, it might be. I mean, everyone else might read it like that, but it's not just about the current sense. It's much deeper than that, I believe. And Elon Musk is almost more, for me, I believe, putting a timestamp on his belief of Bitcoin, if he is choosing to believe it still. But he's not pushing for mass adoption. And why would you push for mass adoption when there's only so much Bitcoin left? That's what I'm thinking. Anyone pushing for mass adoption, they're going to be selling. That's what I think. Because there's no rush. There's no rush to buy a Bitcoin. There's no rush to get everyone else to buy it. Why do you care if everyone else is buying Bitcoin? Because you know, one day or another, there's enough here to keep going. Just between us all between this community, you know there's enough. So all this Michael Saylor talking, whatever he's talking, mate, I don't believe you for a second, because I think you're going to sell. I think you're going to sell, and I think you're going to make a nice, juicy profit, and good on you, but I don't listen to these people. I don't listen to him for advice. I mean, look, maybe a little bit, but I don't listen to him to think, oh, wow, he knows what he's talking about. He's never going to sell. I'd rather see Peter Schiff say something positive about Bitcoin as opposed to Elon, or as opposed to Michael Saylor. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it on that note. I think I did have something that I wanted to discuss, but I can't really remember it now. So, I mean, it will come to me, and it will come in another video. I mean, and look, if anyone's actually watched this, and, you know, you've actually gotten to the end of this video, thank you, I guess. Genuinely, it's my first video, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, I mean, the like and the subscribe thing, that will completely change everything for me at the stage I'm at. So if you could, it'd be much appreciated. Leave a comment, just, you know, let's have an open discussion about these things. You know, I would like to learn something from the community, as opposed to, I'm not a guy that's going to come on here and preach about things that I know. It's just how I digest the information, and hopefully people can tell me a better way of viewing things. So thank you, everyone. Cheers.